Hello, friends. In a surprising shift, two of America's closest allies, Japan and South Korea, are siding with China, a long-time rival for both America and these two nations. So, what is their goal? Their goal is to push back against Trump's trade policies and build a stronger economic alliance. Ignoring past conflicts, these three nations are working on a trilateral free trade agreement. Together, they make nearly 25% of the world GDP, and the unity is causing major concerns in Washington. But why now? What does this mean for global trade, security, and US influence? Let's break it all down. Stay with us till the end. Japan and Korea push back against Trump. The world has been on edge since Trump's re-election. Japan and South Korea, once heavily reliant, dependent on the United States, are now strengthening the ties with arch rival China, which is also happens to be United States' biggest competitor in Asia. Ministers from the three nations have been meeting frequently. They are crafting a strategy to counter Trump's harsh tariff policies. What's their plan? A strong economic front that forces the United States to rethink its trade stance and tariff policies. Trilateral talks resume after 5 years. After a 5-year break, China, Japan, and South Korea have restarted high-level economic talks. On March 30, trade ministers from all three countries met in Seoul to outline a counter-strategy against US tariffs. In a joint statement, they announced plans for a new trade framework, a trilateral free trade agreement (FTA), and stronger economic ties. The talks also focused on stabilizing supply chains, expanding digital trade, and increasing technology exchange. This move builds on the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, which is RCEP, which already includes China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and ASEAN nations. With this expansion, the economic alliance is becoming even stronger. China had already extended an olive branch. Back in the March, at the 11th China-Japan-South Korea Foreign Ministers meeting in Tokyo, China made its intentions clear. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi stressed that these nations are geographically connected and should prioritize cooperation over conflict. Now, with trade ministers deepening their talks, this alliance is moving from words to action. Meanwhile, similar partnerships are emerging in North America as well. Canada and Mexico are exploring new trade agreements, adding to pressure on Trump. So clearly, Trump's protectionist policy seems to cost the United States its global influence. Why are Japan and Korea moving away from the United States? Friends, what's driving this shift? The answer lies in the auto industry. Yes, President Donald Trump has announced reciprocal tariffs on almost all the countries on planet Earth, including Japan, China, and South Korea. You are seeing the rates on screen. But there is more to it. A major blow to Japan and Korea's car exports. Japan's economy leans heavily on exports from companies like Toyota, Honda, and Suzuki. In 2024, nearly 28.3% of Japan's total exports to the United States were automobiles. But Trump's 25% tariff on vehicle imports and vehicle parts imports is set to change the dynamics entirely. If enforced, Japan's car production could drop by 4.3%. This estimation is according to the Japan Research Institute. South Korea faces a similar crisis. Nearly half of its locally manufactured vehicles are shipped to the United States, contributing over 2% of its total GDP. Hyundai recently announced $21 billion of investment in the United States, hoping to have some kind of mercy from Trump. But just few days after this announcement, this pledge of investment, Trump has dropped tariff bomb. Friends, here it is important to note that Japan and South Korea both expected their close ties with United States to protect them from these tariffs. They thought definitely Trump will exclude them. Instead, Trump imposed a uniform 25% tariff especially on automobile goods, cars, vehicles and auto parts. And over and above, now he has also announced reciprocal tariffs. This has caused massive panic in both of these countries, Japan and South Korea. This has forced them to seek alternatives, leading them straight to China. Japan and China, putting aside old rivalries, Japan has long-standing territorial disputes with both China and South Korea. The Takeshima Islands are claimed by both China and Japan, while South Korea has ongoing disputes over the Senkaku Islands. On top of this, Japan faces frequent threats from North Korea, Kim Jong-un's North Korea, which enjoys backing from both China and Russia. Despite these tensions, Japan is now prioritizing economic security over historical conflicts. Trump's policies have shown that the United States is willing to sacrifice old alliances for short-term economic gains. This has pushed Japan and South Korea to diversify their economic partnerships, starting with China. Is the United States losing its grip on Asia? Friends, China, Japan and South Korea. These three nations together contribute almost 80% of the GDP of 15-nation grouping RCEP. In 2022, trade between these three nations alone reached $800 billion. The United States is still China's largest trading partner, no denying in that, but Japan and South Korea follow closely behind. If these Asian giants succeed in their trilateral trade deal, their dependence on the United States will drop drastically. What happens then? Expanding RCEP will create a more self-sufficient Asian trade network, hitting the US economy. And the United States currently maintains military bases in Japan and South Korea. Trump has questioned the cost of these operations. If trade tensions push America away from the region, its military presence could also shrink in Asia Pacific. What comes next? Friends, with so many moving pieces, the coming months will be crucial for United States and Asia relations. Will Trump's aggressive trade policies backfire, or will these Asian nations reshape the global economy? Stay tuned for more updates. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And also, you can put your thoughts in the comment section below. Keep looking for better. Let's meet again. Namaste.